What's going on, Movie Maniacs? I'm Zach.
And I'm Matt.
And this is the previews, everybody's favorite part of the movie. So this week we went and checked out Goosebumps Part 3.
We did. Woo, spooky.
Yeah.
Also known as Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Yes. And welcome to the spooky set of the previews.
Where August is coming and going, and then the fall season's about to come up. So we thought we'd change it up a little bit and make it real spooky. But yeah, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the book that we always bought but never read. Starring, we don't really know their names, but also directed by Andre Øvredal and produced by yours truly, Guillermo del Toro.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So Zach, let me go ahead and ask you this story. Was it spooktacular? Or was it just alright?
I thought it was alright.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely had its moments. The moments that they brought back from the book were done extremely well. The makeup and just, I don't even know, I couldn't even tell if it was animated or like just costumes or anything like that.
Yeah, the one that you're talking about, it was a contortionist.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was real.
Yeah, exactly. But it was scary and it was done very well. But with also that being said, the reason I say it's okay because I feel like there wasn't enough. I just wanted a little bit more.
Yeah, so originally I thought this film was going to be, when they announced it, an anthology film, right? It's going to be like a Twilight Zone, Creepshow, Tales from the Crypt.
I thought
it was going to be little chunks of story, and that was going to be it, right?
Yeah.
This movie is obviously one cohesive story. I mean, you saw it, we made a joke about it. It's basically Goosebumps 3, but obviously a more adult version of Goosebumps.
But also not too adult.
Yeah,
it was still... I feel like you could really test how scared your kids are of films by showing them this movie.
Yeah, definitely. Because it wasn't overly gory.
Yeah.
It wasn't overly gross.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't overly scary, but it still tiptoed that line. I would say your kid getting to that age about like 9 or 10, like this is a good one to like show them to see if they can handle the suspense.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but I will, I guess, give credit to Andre Øvredal. I mean, he directed this film very well.
Yes,
and I also felt that
well.
Guillermo del Toro's fingerprints were all over this movie.
Definitely.
Because the way
I could even sense it from the trailer.
Oh, definitely. Mm-hmm. And the way the monsters were created, like I said, they used live practical effects for most of them. They also used a little bit of CGI. But the best thing is they really stayed true to what you saw in the source material. Mm-hmm. When you saw those creepy, images from the cover, everybody remembers the clown cover.
Yes.
But then when you flip through those pages, you might not have read the story like me, because I never read one of the books. I bought them plenty of times, but I never read them.
Yes, I read the first one, but I read it when I think I was in second grade, because that's just that was the biggest thing in my second grade class. Everybody was reading it. So I remember reading the first one, but now I only remember 2 stories from it, and they were both in this movie. Mm-hmm. It was a good throwback.
Yeah, it's definitely a good ghost story, right?
Yeah, definitely very good.
I feel like the issues that I personally had with it was it should have been an anthology film.
Definitely.
Because there was huge breaks in time.
So much breaks.
Where it would gain so much momentum, and you're like, oh yeah, this is great, and then it would stop.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and it is... We said it 3 times, but the Goosebumps, it was just, they just kept trying to figure out how to beat this thing. Yep. And I feel like they spent too long doing that instead of showing us more of the monsters.
Yeah, and when we got to the monster part, I felt like it was very rushed, except the first couple. We're not going to tell you what the first couple were. Mm-hmm. The first couple were perfectly paced. Mm-hmm. But towards the end, it was so quick. You're like, come on, which really, kind of bummed me out, because there was, monsters that were in the trailer that I was like, can't wait to see this. Mm-hmm. But it was over lickety split. Mm-hmm. Okay, which I know that I shouldn't say that, I'm an adult, but it really was over, fairly quick, but it felt long. But I'll tell you one thing, I don't remember the actors' names, but I thought they all did a serviceable job.
The lead girl did very, very well.
Yeah, exactly.
I think she did a great job.
And the comedic relief was a great comedic relief. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like there were things that made this movie fun and enjoyable. I feel like not a lot of people are going to go see it in theaters. However, I feel like this movie is going to kill it in Netflix.
Oh, Netflix. Like, it's a perfect October movie.
Oh, definitely.
It really is.
Definitely. And if you have children out there that are getting to that age where you want to kind of test the waters with them, this is the perfect one to maybe crack open during Halloween.
Yeah, and this is just a great, just for just young teenagers to go see in theaters.
Yeah.
Again, because I feel like this movie should have been released in October.
Yeah, well, with it being PG-13, do you think it tiptoed the line of PG-13 and R, or what do you think?
I couldn't go as far as say R. I mean, like, yes, the imagery and theme of it was very dark, but again, it wasn't gory. It wasn't. It didn't have any of the things that make an R movie R.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know. I think PG-13 is perfect for it. Like, because I don't want to say even it's a tiptoeing between PG and PG-13, because I wouldn't even go to that extent. I just think it's a perfect PG-13 movie.
I agree, and I really truly believe that this is almost like a throwback. I've said it plenty of times, but a throwback to the movies in the late 80s, early 90s that we would watch, you know, where it was scary. It did have moments of, I guess, dread, but it wasn't, like, terrifying or, like, anything like that. Mm-hmm. Like, this is a good testing out the waters to see if your kid likes it.
All right, quick note, Movie Maniacs. So just so you know, I'm going to spoil one part of the movie, and it's the ending. And it's just because it brought this movie's rating down, because it's one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to movies. Oh yeah. So I just want to mention it because I just feel like I have to. I already
know what it is.
So if you haven't seen the movie and don't want the ending spoiled, go to this time during the video, and you'll just skip over it.
Yep.
So the ending, it's where the bad guy is ready to do bad guy things. It has the protagonist in its sight, can just take him out
within the grasp.
Yeah, within the grasp of it, and just the protagonist just gives him a heartfelt, "You don't have to do this. I know your story. You're better than this. I know I'll spread it," and then just doesn't. I hate this in movies so much. And I can't stand it.
Yep. You know what? Because I felt you shuffle in your seat when that happened. I was like, oh boy, he hates it. But when you're talking about spoilers, like, what are you talking about? And you're like, I hate this. And I'm like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I wanted to get that off my chest, because it brought down the rating a little bit for me. And but it didn't. There's definitely movies that have done it worse and have ruined the movie. It didn't go to the extent of ruining the movie for me, because it was pretty quick. Mm-hmm. And again, this movie is targeted for kids, so it was a little bit passable, but still not okay with it.
Yeah, and I will tell you this too. Another thing that I didn't like about this movie, and this is getting into spoilers too, I don't like how they set it up for a sequel. Because with these movies that really don't have a strong, I guess, intellectual property tied to it, don't say you're going to make a sequel. Because honestly, just because I'm just thinking the way the movie business goes, I don't think there's going to be a sequel to this movie unless there is a strong following on streaming, where I think someone like Netflix, Hulu, or
Disney Plus,
or the HBO streaming service take this and maybe do another one. Yeah. Because I hate it when movies do that. Like Alita, we're like, are you really going to do a sequel to Alita? Because really and honestly, we don't know if it's going to make as much money as
it did. It did make a lot of money.
But not enough to make a sequel, though.
So, overall, what are you giving it?
I think, like I said, there's enjoyable parts. The beginning's really good, and then it kind of falls apart at the end. Mm-hmm. Okay? I'm going to give it something a little gross. I'm going to go ahead and give it 3.5 Dr. Pimple Popper Pimples out of 5.
Love it. And I'm going to go 3 Big Toes out of 5.
Okay. So hopefully you enjoyed our spooktacular Movie Maniacs. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Hit that bell icon so you get notified of every single video we upload. And then next week, we are going to go see Dora the Explorer.
Oh, are we?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just kidding. We're really going to go see Good Boys.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was thinking Good Boys.
Exactly. We're going to go ahead and check out that movie. I'll tell you one thing. I'm kind of looking forward to it because I like Seth Rogen films. However, I think it's just going to be a running gag where these kids are young and they're doing way too grotesque adult things.
Yeah, and just swear. I just instantly thought of like Sausage Party.
Yeah.
Sausage Party was funny, don't get me wrong, and it was a good time, but I feel like they were just trying to just overdo it as just this food that are having sex and swearing on every other word.
Hey, did you see Happy Time Murders?
I didn't.
Okay, that's what I'm worried this movie's gonna be. Because Happy Time Murders is like, hey, this isn't funny when adults do it, but let's do it with puppets. Like, it doesn't make it funnier. You know, it's still lame.
But we'll see. Again, Seth Rogen is great. And, I guess we'll find out. So, we'll see you then, Movie Maniacs.